Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Across the Middle East, the situation is heating up again, and this time it's deadlier than ever. Reports are now confirming that an Iran-backed militia group has fully rearmed itself with rockets, anti-tank missiles, and heavy artillery, sparking fears of a new wave of conflict. Intelligence sources say that this isn't just a small-scale buildup, it's a massive, coordinated rearmament effort that could change the entire balance of power in the region. For months, tensions between Iran and Israel have been rising, with both sides exchanging warnings and covert strikes. But now, Iranian proxies across Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq appear to be arming up for something much bigger. These groups, backed by Iran's Revolutionary Guard, are preparing for a confrontation that could ignite a regional war. In the last several weeks, satellite images and intelligence leaks have shown military convoys crossing the Syrian-Iraqi border, carrying crates marked with Iranian manufacturing codes. Inside those crates, weapons, advanced anti-tank guided missiles, short-range rockets, and even artillery pieces capable of devastating fortified positions. Western intelligence agencies believe the weapons are being supplied directly by the Quds Force, Iran's elite military unit responsible for overseas operations. Their goal, according to analysts, is to strengthen allied militias like Hezbollah, Kataib Hezbollah, and Liwa al-Quds, giving them the power to hit Israeli and U.S. targets across the region if war breaks out. The rearmament comes at a critical time. After months of drone attacks, assassinations, and border clashes, Tehran seems determined to show that it can retaliate through its network of proxy groups without engaging directly. These militias, trained and funded by Iran, act as its shadow army, and now that army is stronger than it's been in years. According to reports, these groups have received Iranian-made Fateh and Fajr rockets, with ranges of up to 75 kilometers. These weapons can reach deep into enemy territory, striking bases, supply depots, and even civilian areas. They're cheap to produce, easy to transport, and devastatingly effective when used in large numbers. But it doesn't stop there. The militias have also received Kornet-style anti-tank missiles, capable of piercing modern armor and destroying Israeli and American vehicles with precision. Combined with heavy mortars and long-range artillery, this arsenal transforms these Iran-backed factions into full-scale battlefield forces. Military experts are warning that these weapons could soon be used not just as deterrents, but as offensive tools. And if that happens, it won't be a small skirmish. It will be an all-out regional escalation. Meanwhile, Israel has been watching closely. In recent days, the Israeli Air Force has intensified its patrols over Syria and southern Lebanon. Several suspected weapons depots have already been hit by airstrikes, though Tel Aviv remains silent on the details. Defense analysts believe Israel's goal is clear: to stop these weapons before they reach Hezbollah and other militant groups capable of striking deep into Israeli territory. Still, despite Israeli strikes, Iran's proxy network continues to grow. Smuggling routes through Iraq and Syria remain active. Convoys continue to move under cover of night, and the weapon shipments keep coming. A senior defense analyst commented that Iran's strategy is simple: build pressure on all fronts. If Israel or the U.S. attacks Iran directly, they'll face retaliation from every direction. This isn't just about one militia, it's about the creation of a multi-front deterrent. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Shiite militias in Iraq, the Houthis in Yemen, and Syrian paramilitaries all united under Iran's command structure. Each one is now better armed, better trained, and more capable of launching coordinated attacks. And what's even more alarming, intelligence suggests that some of these new weapons are being stored in underground bunkers and civilian areas to avoid detection. By embedding weapons in cities and villages, these groups make it nearly impossible for Israel or Western forces to strike without risking civilian casualties. It's a deliberate tactic, and it works. Recent footage from southern Lebanon shows large-scale parades featuring new rocket launchers and armored vehicles flying militia flags. Many of these units, previously equipped with light arms, now boast long, range launchers, radar-guided artillery, and advanced communications gear. Iran, for its part, denies direct involvement. Tehran insists that these are independent resistance movements, acting in defense of their own territories. But few in the international community believe that. The fingerprints of the Iranian military are everywhere, from the missile blueprints to the command structures. Western intelligence has even detected the presence of Iranian advisors on the ground, training these militias in drone warfare and artillery targeting. Their goal? To turn these groups into self-sufficient, well-coordinated strike forces capable of operating autonomously if war erupts. For Israel, this is a nightmare scenario. The prospect of simultaneous attacks from Hezbollah in the north, Iranian militias in Syria to the east, and Hamas or Islamic Jihad from Gaza to the south would stretch Israel's defenses thin. The Iron Dome and David's sling systems, though advanced, have limits. And with hundreds of rockets and drones potentially launched from multiple directions, the challenge could become overwhelming. In Washington, the Pentagon is also on alert. U.S. bases in Iraq and Syria have been targeted several times this year by rocket and drone attacks linked to Iran-backed groups. Each incident brings the U.S. closer to being drawn back into direct Middle Eastern combat, something it has tried to avoid since its withdrawal from Afghanistan. At the United Nations, diplomats are warning of a dangerous new phase of proxy warfare. What makes this escalation unique is the scale of coordination. Iran isn't just supporting militias anymore, it's building a unified front capable of strategic warfare. The message from Tehran is unmistakable. Any attack on Iran will trigger a response from across the entire region. Its deterrence through chaos, a strategy built on fear, confusion, and uncertainty. Meanwhile, Russia's growing partnership with Iran complicates things further. Moscow's cooperation with Tehran, particularly in drone technology and military strategy, could soon find its way into these proxy networks. Some reports even suggest that Russian technicians have helped upgrade Iranian missile guidance systems, which are now being distributed among these militias. If true, that means this isn't just Iran's regional conflict anymore, it's part of a larger geopolitical struggle. A battle where global powers quietly test each other's limits through indirect warfare. The rearmament of Iran-backed militias is not only a regional threat, it's a global signal. It tells the world that Iran's influence is expanding rapidly, that sanctions have failed to cripple its defense capabilities, and that Tehran's strategy of proxy warfare is alive and thriving. Every rocket, every convoy, every new missile launcher is a message to Israel, the U.S., and their allies. Iran will not fight alone. For the people living in the border towns of Lebanon, Syria, and Israel, this buildup has created an atmosphere of dread. Each night brings the sound of aircraft overhead, the distant echo of explosions, and the uncertainty of when the next strike will come. And yet, in Tehran, there's celebration. State media praises the resistance forces for their courage and strength. Iranian officials call it the beginning of a new balance of power, but history tells us that such buildups often lead to confrontation. The Middle East stands once again on the edge of a knife, one miscalculation, one airstrike too many, and the region could spiral into a war that no one can control. For now, the world watches nervously as convoys keep moving, missiles keep arriving, and militias keep training. Iran's shadow army is ready, and whether it's days, weeks, or months before the first major strike, the message has already been delivered. The next war in the Middle East may not begin with Iran itself, but with those who fight in its name. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.